Hello, grade 8 learner. Welcome to another video lesson in mathematics. In this video lesson, we will be discussing the solution of a word problem involving linear functions. This lesson is based on the K-12 curriculum competency. The learner solves problems involving linear functions. It's another great day to learn, so prepare your pen, paper, and module as you start watching and learning from this video lesson. Happy learning! Refer to your Quarter 2, Module 5 entitled Problems on Linear Functions for this example. Let's study this situation. An employee's house is located 1,200 meters away from his workplace. He goes to work by walking at a constant rate of 60 meters per minute. To answer the questions for this problem, we observe the situation. We identify the quantities being related in the situation. This phrase in the problem describes the distance. And this phrase describes the speed of the employee as he walks to work, which also involves the time that he spends in walking. Let us process what we know. We identified the quantities being compared in the situation. So now, we must study the relations between the quantities in the problem. Understanding the situation in the problem, we realize that the speed of the walk and the time it takes to walk affects the distance that is covered by the walk. Let us solve. Before we could answer any of the questions, we should have a function that describes the relation of the quantities in the situation. We learn in science that the distance covered by motion is equal to the product of the speed and the duration of the motion, which is measured by time. Thus, we have the function d is equal to r times t. Now that we have the equation, we now answer the first question by solving. In the problem, the distance is described as 1,200 meters. So, we substitute d with 1,200. The speed, represented by r, is also given as 60 meters per minute. So, we substitute r with 60. This gives us the equation 1,200 equal to 60t. Since we are solving for t, we divide both sides of the equation by 60 to eliminate 60 from 60t. We then divide 1,200 by 60. This gives us 20, which is the resulting value for t. Now let's solve for the answer of the second question using the same equation d is equal to rt. From the question, we understand that the distance is the same, which is 1,200, so we still substitute d with 1,200. However, since the employee reached his house in 15 minutes, that means the speed, or r, has changed from 60 meters per minute. This shows we are solving for r, and we are going to substitute t with 15. From the resulting equation, 1,200 equal to 15r, we divide both sides of the equation by 15 to eliminate 15 from 15r. Dividing 1,200 by 15, we get 80, which is the resulting value for r. Now that we have finished solving, we now answer the questions in the given problem. Given the situation, We know from our solutions that it will take the employee 20 minutes to reach his workplace from a distance of 1,200 meters and a constant speed of 60 meters per minute. If he had reached his workplace in 15 minutes from the same distance, he would have walked at a rate of 80 meters per minute. Congratulations for finishing this video lesson. Now it's time to apply what you've learned because, to quote the African author Idowu Koyunikan, it's not so much as what life hands you, but what you do with what you get that truly matters. We'll see you again in our next video lesson.